Self-custody wallets. A self-custody wallet basically generates a 12-word passphrase that gives you and only you access to your cryptocurrency. You can think about a wallet as a secure place to store your cryptocurrency, but also consider that cryptocurrency is never actually stored anywhere. It's always on the blockchain. What you store, what you have, are the private keys to your cryptocurrency if you're using a self-custody wallet. If you use an exchange, you'll notice that you never had to provide or record 12-word passphrases. That's because your exchange has copies of their own wallets. They're actually holding your access in their wallets. At some point, you may decide, no, I want to control all of my cryptocurrency myself, and I don't need an exchange to do that, at which point you will begin using a self-custody wallet. There are two types of self-custody wallets. One is hardware, and the other one is software. What's interesting about those is that they're not mutually exclusive. When people think about the hardware wallets, they think about like a USB dongle, something like this, where you plug it in and it gives you access to your cryptocurrency and you can transact with it. At the same time, that cold wallet, as it's called, is also going in through a piece of software that was designed to interact with it, to allow you to use that cold wallet. The other type of wallet is a hot wallet. It's a piece of software. It is a program that you run on your phone or your computer. You boot it up and you have access and you can transact with your cryptocurrencies as long as you have that access right. It will be able to generate a 12-word passphrase should your software be deleted or uninstalled, or say you are running multiple wallets. You can always enter a different 12-word passphrase, get access to a different wallet. If anything happens to your software, you can always get back into it. The neat thing too about self-custody access rights is that once you have a 12-word passphrase generated for your wallet, you can access it through different pieces of software. For example, my go-to self-custody wallet is Exodus. It's a nice looking wallet. It operates well for what I need. I'm in the shallow end of self-custody wallet use, but if I take that same 12-word passphrase and I plug it into another self-custody hot wallet piece of software like Coinbase or Trust Wallet, I'm going to come up with the same assets and the same addresses to send those assets to. That's because the self-custody wallet isn't attached to the software, it's attached to the blockchain. Interestingly enough, when you decide that you're going to create your own self-custody wallet, it gives birth to a 12-word passphrase that did not exist before, but after being created will exist forever. One key difference between a cold wallet and a hot wallet is that the cold wallet promises a level of security because when that cold wallet isn't plugged in, it's not accessible. No one on the internet could possibly hack it. It is considered air-gapped, and some people feel that that gives them a degree of security. One major drawback to that, though, is the software that is used. It's the way people receive updates for that software. There have been cold wallet hacks where the cold wallet itself wasn't hacked, but the software that interfaces with it was. They receive a spoof email indicating that there's some sort of update for their cold wallet, and lo and behold, the update did not come from the manufacturer. These people installed backdoors into their cold wallet, so the next time they tried to transact, they basically broadcast their keys to the hackers and lost all their funds. The cold wallet itself was fine, but the software that the cold wallet was interacting with had been compromised. When you think of a hot wallet is on your phone all the time. Again, nobody is going to crack your 12-word passphrase. That is not computationally possible in today's day and age. But what can happen is your phone or your computer itself could get hacked. Somebody going into that device, then if they've successfully hacked it, now has access to all of your programs and can go into your hot wallet and start transacting, not because they've cracked the wallet itself, but because they have gained access to your system. So it's worth keeping in mind that there is a best practice that needs to be maintained, whatever choice you use. Personally, myself, I find cold wallets a little gimmicky. A device like this that holds a 12-word passphrase allows me to not even think about or record what that 12-word passphrase is, because I'm relying on that device always being there, is vulnerable in a way, because what happens if something happens to the device? If I lose it, or physical damage, things like that. So having a device like that is, to me, a unique point of vulnerability. I prefer to use a hot wallet. A hot wallet, represented on paper, can look something like this. You think of a hot wallet as being a piece of software on your phone, but it's actually the portal that is gained by having that 12-word passphrase. Keeping good personal online security is, boy oh boy, you can't say enough about it. You need a good, diligent practice to make sure all of your passwords for everything are unique, at least in some way. Change them semi-frequently. Not to redo a safety video, but revisit your passwords from time to time, and do know that leaks can happen. When it comes to which app to use, take your pick. There's a lot of different apps. Personally, I like using Exodus. It's very easy to use. At a glance, it makes sense. It's a nice looking app. For my simple needs, because I'm only using self-custody for layer ones for the most part, like my deep long-term holds, the sort of things that, if everything else gets wiped out, I want to make sure that I have my core holdings protected. I use Exodus, and it works just fine. The destination addresses on that self-custody wallet, I have jotted and keep in a notepad in my phone. You are exposed to no security risks by having your destination addresses recorded somewhere. The key thing here is that whatever self-custody wallet you're using, you have the ability to send funds to it whenever you need, and it's only the core time when you're going to send funds off of it that you actually need it installed or connected. As long as you know what addresses from your self-custody wallet you're going to be sending to, then you're fine never accessing that wallet again until you actually need those funds from the wallet. I record the 12 words on a piece of paper. When I go to install my hot wallet because I need to transact with it for some reason, then I have that 12-word passphrase at hand, and I punch it in, and away I go. Don't take a screenshot of your 12-word passphrase. Don't have that stored somewhere on your phone where if a hacker gains access to your phone, they now can go through your images or your notepad or what have you and find your 12-word passphrase, and then you are cleaned out. The only safe place to keep a 12-word passphrase is off of your phone or your computer and recorded somewhere safe. Now, a piece of paper, like I said, can't be hacked, but your house could burn down. So what are you going to do if your house burns down and your tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of crypto were only accessible by this 12-word passphrase and that little piece of paper that you recorded burnt down with your house. You lose everything. If you lose that 12-word passphrase and you don't know it, it is gone forever. Impress that upon your mind. If you lose control of something with a self-custody account or self-custody wallet, it's gone forever. So be extra diligent, be extra careful, and ask yourself what you can do to take precautions to make sure that you are never jeopardized like that. There's a couple different ways, a couple different suggestions that I give to people. One is that if you have people in your life that you can trust absolutely, well, then maybe you can give your 12-word passphrase to them. It could be a very close family member, ideally not living in the same house as you. The idea here is to spread the risk geographically. The odds of your house burning down are low. The odds of both your house and, say, your brother's house burning down at the same time are extraordinary. If that's the case, you might have bigger problems than what happened to your crypto. Let's say you don't have somebody that you trust that much, but let's say you have a couple friends that you trust a little bit. You could take that 12-word passphrase and divide it into two halves. So you could give 6 words to one friend and 6 words to the other friend. Now, if you're concerned about being able to pass on your holdings to somebody else, say in the event of your death, these two people would emerge and they'd have a clear idea of who the beneficiary was, and together ensure that that beneficiary receives the funds. Another thing a person can do is use, say, a fire safe chest in their home. If you have other documents like passports and birth certificates, things like that, that's always wise for people to have something that will survive a fire in their home. People use safe deposit box. My technique is to use a metal engraver, purchased from Canadian Tire for like 30 or 40 bucks. It's great for engraving things on your home belongings, but you can also take a small piece of metal that's not going to rust, and you can carve your 12-word passphrase on it and put that piece of metal out in your garden or several feet off of some landmark on one of your favorite hikes or a walk or what have you.